I'm kind of going to be talking about, I guess, what Elizabeth was referring to in her great talk about that kind of imaginary, that space of the imaginary, and the role that metaphors play in that for myself as a designer. And in Google, on your sort of intranet page, you're meant to have like a 3-word mission underneath your name. And for about 6 years when I was at Google Research, mine was Centaurs, not butlers. And so this idea of like using kind of the human-machine hybrid, that sort of space of amplification, sort of a sort of sub-metaphor here. One of the things that I loved about this kind of idea was it sort of felt like a coming back to that embodiment metaphor in a way, that it felt like not the neurons in the brain. It sort of got us away from this kind of like centralized kind of imaginary, to use Elizabeth's term, of the brain controlling everything. And it felt more like, you know, the nerve cells that we have all over our body doing things all of the time. It felt like a knee. It felt like a knee reflex or something that was just doing this thing all the time and doing it incredibly well. The wonderful octopus. I can't eat octopus anymore because I've read too many books about them. And coming back to the knees, and coming back to another just famous quotation by Bertrand Meyer, a famous ETH professor. I don't know where he is now, but I love this. Real systems have no top. Thinking again about different architectures of how you might create these interactions, where the brains might be, whether the brains are tiny and in the world rather than huge and in the sky. And so one of the other things that I think is kind of, at least this helps me think through as a designer, is thinking about different ways that you might employ personal AI, whether it's kind of amplification in the sense that Elizabeth was referring to, and I often sort of call like pedal assist. Who here has an e-bike or a pedal assist bike or has tried one? When the sort of, you are pedaling, right? But it's like, whoa, I don't pedal that fast. This is amazing. Versus something which is more about kind of autonomy of the agent and you giving it sort of direction and sort of criteria for success and letting it do its own thing. Looking at this idea of the site of AI design being the planet and being kind of the very fact that we know of anthropogenic climate change is something which was enabled by planetary scale computation. What can we invent and design to weather the storm that is coming? Thank you.